The Broadway musical Peter Pan hit Broadway 1 year prior, starring Mary Martin, is presented on TV for the very first time by NBC TV with its original cast as an installment of Producers Showcase, which was the first time a musical was presented on TV in its entirety. West Germany becomes a sovereign nation and is recognized by France, United Kingdom, Canada, and the United States. The year is 1955, and this top of the line Studebaker president could be had at your local Studebaker showroom. But before getting into all of it, I'm Jay. Welcome to What She Like. What it's like, the automotive channel where we talk about cars not often talked about. We feature the classics, vintage, some exotics. We love the orphan cars or car brands that died out long ago. We talk about the history, specs, design of these rolling works of art, but most importantly, we show what these cars are like. If that sounds like a channel that would interest you, something that you would totally dig, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. This 1955 Studebaker President four-door sedan is currently for sale at Classic Auto Mall, Morgantown, Pennsylvania, with over 1,000 cars for sale. When recording this episode, something there for everyone. And get this, anybody can peruse their inventory. It doesn't cost an admission fee to get in. 4 hours of operation, directions, and more pictures of this absolute gem of a car. Be sure to click the link below after the show. You've been asking when the next live show is going to be. That's coming up very, very soon, Tuesday, December 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It can be a Q&A session or would you rather reflection, and we're going to tell stories about the stuff that happened behind the scenes. It's going to be really cool, and I'm super stoked. I can't wait to see you there. 1955 Studebaker model lineup was broken down into 3 model lines. You had the Champion in the basement, which rode a wheelbase of 116.5 inches. Commander was in the middle, riding the same wheelbase. President at the top, riding a wheelbase of 120.5 inches. Studebaker also offered wagons in the Champion and Commander lines. It's also worth mentioning that Studebaker had a truck line going from half-ton all the way up to the big commercial. Studebaker offered the President in 2 different time periods. The first time period was between the years of 1926 to 1942. World War II happened, and Studebaker experimented with other names after the war. Then they brought the Studebaker President back for 1955 through 1958. The President was offered in 4 generations. 1955 falls in the 4th generation, which was produced from 1955, 56, 57, 58. Could be had as a 2-door coupe, 4-door deluxe sedan, 2-door hardtop, 4-door sedan, and wagon. 1955 got a facelift, and it's more or less a standalone design. We generally compare what came before, but we would have to go clear back to 1941 for that, unless we compare top car to top car, which was the Commander, which you could definitely see the design lineage. So let's compare 54 Commander on top, 55 President on the bottom, starting in the front. Bumpers and grills are totally different. And to me, I like the 54 design of the front end more. It's a cleaner appearance. The 55 has more of a catfish appearance to me. Maybe it's just me. What do you guys think? The 55 has a hood mascot or hood ornament, whereas the 54 doesn't. Turn signals are bigger on the 55. Moving to the side profile, what's interesting is the shell is mostly unchanged. This shell dates back to 1953. Aside from trim and full wheel discs versus dog dishes on the 54, also the 55 has a very small sun visor that's external of stainless steel. Moving to the rear section, gas door is on the same side. The image is just flipped. The tail lights have been revised as well as the lenses. Moving inside to take a look at the dash and interior, which are 2 totally different dashboard layouts. 4-gauge pods on the 54 versus 2 bigger pods on the 55. Which one do you like better? Let's talk specs. 206.2 inches long, 71.3 inches wide. It's 55.5 inches tall. It rides a wheelbase of 120.5 inches. It weighs 3,225 pounds. Price, $2,380, which is equivalent to you spending $27,323.02 in the year 2023. Total 1955 production was 116,333 units. Of that number, 24,665 were President, and of that number, 14,634 were the regular standard four-door sedan. Moving on to engine, only one engine on offer in two flavors. 259 cubic inch displacement overhead valve V8 4.2 liters. It's good for anywhere between 175 to 180 horsepower at 4,500 RPM, 250 pound-feet or 339 Newton meters at 3,000 RPM, with a bore of 3.6 inches and a stroke of 3.3 inches. Compression was 7.5 on the 175 horsepower figure or 8.5 on the higher horsepower figure. Built of cast iron. 3 transmissions on offer, 3-speed manual, 3-speed automatic, and 4-speed overdrive. With the 3-speed manual, 0 to 60 could be had in 9.5 seconds, with a theoretical top speed of 103 miles per hour, while achieving around 13.8 to 15 miles per gallon MPG average.
Here they come, the safest cars in America. The magnificent Studebaker President V8. And the famous Studebaker Commander V8, first in safety in their field, as judged by Car Life magazine. This leading publication in the automotive field ran a wide-open competition on all 35 cars in production in America. And here's the result. Henry Sharp, publisher of Car Life, presents the Safety Award to Harold Churchill, General Manager of Studebaker. And just what are the features that make Studebaker safest? Let's ask Studebaker engineers.
Start with that suspension system, built for your comfort and safety. Lets you keep control, even under extreme conditions.
Look at that steering, good and tight, with careful balance of car weight, so you have positive handling.
And with more brake lining per pound of car, Studebaker beats them all for safe, sure stops.
Engine 2. Studebaker has power and the torque to pull you out of trouble.
And the more you can see, the safer you are. How's this for visibility? All-around visibility.
Yes, and that's only part of the story. You owe it to yourself and your family to get the whole story. Safest cars in America in their field. See them at your Studebaker dealers right now.
Let's talk styling. This car is absolutely gorgeous. The color isn't showing up on screen as it is in reality. It's absolutely gorgeous color, my favorite color, teal. Look at these bezels. Look how thick it is at the top versus how thin it is at the bottom. Look at these side markers. Comes up here. The turn signals. It almost looks like a modern turn signal. So just look at how this bumper is designed. It comes around and it's got this whole like part that comes up here. It does have a center line. Look at that hood ornament. With these wheel covers. Also the fenders are just kind of rolled. They're not, it's flared out ever so slightly and then rolled. Check out the belt line trim. Footwell vent. Where the mirrors are mounted. Also look at how they are designed. This car does not have a cowl vent. Instead, it has these footwell vents. Opposing windshield wipers in stainless steel, where the windshield wiper connects to the Usually they just put it right in the trim, but they just stopped the trim piece. Interesting. Wraparound windshield. This car does have ever so slight visor in stainless. Car does have drip rails that run. It's almost like a semicircle. Goes off here, acts as like a dam sort of thing. Comes back this way and ends right here. It's not connected, that's why I said semicircle. Also has this trim piece here at the top. Look at this little trim piece here. Just look at how this is sculpted line. This car does have fender skirts. Also gas filler door on the driver's side. And just look at all the different trim work on that gas door. Coming back to the rear here, just look at these fins. I love these taillights, they're so nice. There's a little bit of an indentation in the taillight lens itself. V8 badge, Studebaker president. Oh man, look at that trunk. Look how massive that trunk is. Also, the load floor is nice and low. You can just put stuff in there. Full-size bias ply spare. Look how far that goes. So this door is all framed out. It's actually like a really nice cloth material. Down here is like a carpet. It's interesting. These are interesting colors for this car. The car is teal and white on the outside, and then it has this tannish tweed color with red carpet. I wonder if it was always supposed to be like that. It's almost like it should have been this color green on the outside. This car has vent windows. Very, very slender. That's all the bigger they are. Look at that. Look how it operates. Window crank for the big window. Operates like this. Door handle to get out. Coming down inside the pedal box. Take a gander at this interior. Here is what over the hood looks like. Here's what first person over the hood looks like. Underneath the steering wheel, there is enough space to put my hand in between my lap and the steering wheel. The only reason I show that is because this steering wheel doesn't move. The only way that you could adjust it is if the seat moves. On then to the button switches and knobs, starting on the left and moving right. Fog lights, headlights, wiper, speedometer with odometer inside of it, turn signal indicators, as well as high beam in the center of those two pods, coolant temperature, oil pressure, gasoline gauge, amp meter, drive modes read, park, neutral, drive, low, reverse, air, defrost, key for the ignition, where the radio would go if you opted for one, clock, ashtray. Up above, sun visors. So when both of them are down, that's what it looks like. Rear view mirror oval shaped. Onto the glove box says, here's our test subject. Here's my hand for reference. Here is the glove box in question. Oh, look at that. That glove box is massive. Fits in there, no problem at all. Ashtray. This one does have turn signals. Also, this over here controls the heat. This down here is the emergency and or handbrake. So check out this rear door panel. It's got an armrest here. Window crank for the big window. Door handle to get out. Vent window in the back, which is a super classy feature in my opinion. Rear windows, vents. Opens up like that. Here is what the front looks like from the back. Let's take a quick gander at the pillar to glass ratio and or greenhouse. This is what visibility looks like out the back from the back seat. There is a pretty big parcel shelf back here. Let's talk about seat profile. It reclines. It does protrude a little bit in the center, but then it comes back down. It also kind of cups you. The seat back does dip down a little bit in the back, and the bench is really wide, but it is a super comfortable seating position. Very relaxed. Tons of space between my knee and the back seat. Huge ashtray. Robe rail. There is not a dome light in the center, but there is a dome light over here off to the side so the driver can control it. There aren't any coat hooks either. This one does have a center armrest. Coming to the under the hood section, the hood release is right back here underneath or behind the A from Baker, I should say. And you push it towards the S. There's only one hood release. You just have to do it all in one motion. 6-volt battery up there. Just check out this V8. Hood's pretty heavy. Air cleaner sits off to the side there. Oil filter is in the can right there outside the block. Generator. Power steering pump. On the positive side, spacious, both front and rear, great visibility, great over-the-hood view. Camera fits in the glove box, which means that the glove box is big enough to stick a small purse in and lock it. Rear center armrest, huge trunk with low load floor, V8 power. Against it, these are rust prone and they leaked from the factory, but then again, with the leaking oil, it can prevent rust, so there's that. All right. Now it's time for Would You Rather. In the first scenario, would you rather have a 1955 Hudson or 1955 Studebaker or 1955 Olds? I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Moving to the second scenario, would you rather have a 1955 Mercury or 1955 Studebaker or 1955 DeSoto? Once again, gonna leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to give both the name of the band and the song title correctly in the comment section will have their comment pinned to the top of it. Thank you all so much for coming out and watching this. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section below or send me an email. All of that will be linked in the description below. Just know I appreciate everything that you guys bring in the comment section below. And until next time, toodaloo!